Good evening. It's Friday, the 15th of January 2021. Diane Hans bringing you Book for the Day, Human Crossings, 9 stories about refugees. And the story that I've been reading to you was written by Clara Old-Hevel, entitled A Treasure. And Obabu had received humanitarian status for 1 year by the Italian government. And this is what happened to him. Some churches would help people in need, but only for a few days, and not every person. Obabu was lucky. He was a Christian. So some days he was allowed to sleep in a church. But the churches didn't have places for longer than a few days. He was sent out on the streets again. He was in a devastating situation, as he didn't have a job, he couldn't earn money, and couldn't pay for food or afford housing. Unfortunately, the Italian government wasn't considerate with that. He couldn't bear this situation any longer and decided to make his way to Germany, assuming he would be living under better conditions there. He had heard from other refugees that Germany had a stable economy and that companies were looking for people and were open towards immigrants. Illegally, he took a train from Cosenza in the south of Italy to Basel. From Switzerland, he then hitchhiked to Germany. He didn't know where in Germany he wanted to go. The truck dropped him off in Minden, in the Westfalia region. He went to the police office and asked where he could be registered as a refugee. They explained the way to the asylum center in Minden. In Minden, he had to go through almost the exact procedure as in Italy. Immigration took his fingerprints, asked him all the questions that had already been asked in Italy. They also asked him in which other European country he arrived first and whether he got a refugee status in any of the European countries. He wrote down why he could not bear living in Italy any longer. This time, they didn't ask him why he left Nigeria, since this was the so-called Dublin procedure. The interview was much shorter than in Italy. From Minden, he got appointed to an asylum seekers' house in Westfalia. Vrun was the name of the town. The government supported him with everything: food, blankets, beds, German classes, and money to live on. This procedure could take as long as the government wanted and needed it to be, as there was a flood of refugees. Therefore, there was no legal time limit for a decision being taken regarding his status. While he was receiving about €300 a month from the social office, he should also be available for some work without getting paid. This was in return for the benefits he received. A few weeks later, Obabu found an internship at a company that specialised in window frames. He was meant to undergo the internship for 6 months. The job agency agreed to it, and the asylum benefits continued alongside the internship. He showed his best capabilities to this company. He was motivated and started learning to speak more German. And that's where we'll leave it for today. To find out what happened next, join me tomorrow. Human Crossing's 9 stories about refugees can be found on Amazon and also on its Facebook page. Until tomorrow, and we'll find out what happens to Obabu in Germany. Good night, Diane Hans.